Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This recipe is SPANAKOPITA, which is a spinach and cheese pie or tart. It's very much like tiropita, but it uses different types of cheese as well as spinach. But it's actually really great. It tastes so good. I don't like spinach, but I actually like this one. Super easy to make because the steps are fairly simple, but it does take a little bit of time to make sure that you get all the techniques correct. By the techniques, I mean not to rip the filo pastry because it's very delicate, but it's super easy to make. So let's show you guys. This spinach and cheese tart, here we have our pie. Here we have 2 bundles of spinach, and we're using mixed spinach, so regular spinach and baby spinach, and of course cut it into smaller pieces. 1 medium onion that is finely chopped, 300 grams of feta cheese, 200 grams mozzarella. We are having frozen, but any type of mozzarella will work. Salt, pepper, 1 cup cooking cream, olive oil, 2 eggs, 2 green onions, and filo pastry. So our first step is in the pan that we've heated up a little. We're adding in the olive oil. So once it has heated up, now we're going to add in the onions, both. So the normal onion. And we're also going to be adding in the green onion and sauteing them. And we're going to keep sauteing them until they are nice and transparent. So now that the onions are nice and transparent, we're going to start adding in the spinach just little by little because they're eventually going to wilt. So they've started to wilt a little. Now we're going to add another handful. And we're going to continue this process until we do this with all of the spinach. So the spinach has wilted. Now we're going to add in salt and pepper, and be careful with the salt because we're already adding in 2 cheeses and feta is known to be a little salty, so just a little bit of salt and some pepper. So now we're just going to let it saute over here until it absorbs all of this excessive water that it has released. So as you can see, the spinach has wilted and absorbed all of the water, and here we have some butter melting. Now we'll take the spinach off the heat, and we're going to add the spinach. We're going to transfer it to a bowl. Now we'll just set it aside to let it cool down and move on. In another bowl, we're going to add in the eggs, and we're going to whisk them. And once you've mixed in the eggs, now we're just going to add in the cooking cream. And now we're just going to add in some salt and pepper, just a little bit of salt because we already have salt in the cheese as well as the spinach. And we'll also add in some black pepper. We're just going to mix all of this together, whisk it really well, and then we'll put it aside. So now back to our spinach, we're going to add in the feta. And if you have a big block, then crumble it. If not, then this is fine. And now we're just going to mix the spinach and feta really well together. So we've mixed in the feta cheese and the spinach together, and taste for seasoning in case it needs anything. So I've added a little bit more pepper. And here we have our baking tray. You can use any shape that you want. It's up to you. We've greased it with some butter, and now we're going to add in the breadcrumbs. And this is just to help keep the filo pastry nice and crispy. At this point, we've preheated our oven, and you can preheat your oven from 180 degrees Celsius up to 200 degrees Celsius. We've lined 2 filo pastries into the mold, and we're going to add some butter to them. And the breadcrumbs at the bottom are not just to keep the pastry nice and crispy, but also in case any excessive liquids leak, the breadcrumbs can absorb them instead of the pastry so that it doesn't get soggy. So we've used up to 6 filo pastries in total. So you put 2 filo pastries, you put butter, another 2, butter, another 2. That's how we layered them. So now we're going to add the tiniest amount of butter, just randomly. And we're going to add in the filling. And now we're just going to try to spread the mixture as evenly as possible. After we've layered it as equally as possible, now we're going to add mozzarella cheese on top. We've added a generous amount of mozzarella, but you can add any type of cheese, Gruyere or Gouda. This is up to you, the top cheese. Now we're going to just start adding in the mixture, and be careful because you know, the pastry may not take up that much. So now for the excess pastry around the edges, we're just going to fold it into each other. You can cover it if you want to, but we opted not to. So you're just going to fold it into each other, and then we're going to cover it with some butter. Just brush it with some butter for that nice golden brown color in the oven. So we're just brushing the edges with butter to get that nice golden brown color when we put it into the oven, and we're going to just add some on top. And now we put it in the oven, and we're going to bake it for 40 to 45 minutes. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, nice crispy edges. It looks really nice and flaky, and the golden brown from the melted cheese. It smells so good, so I can't wait to cut it and eat it. So this is what it looks like now that we've cut it. As you can see, the layers over here of cheese and the spinach, the feta cheese over here. It looks really nice, and it looks really neat. Golden brown color of the cheese, the flakiness of the crust. So the flavors are actually nice. I mean, it's cheese, and I really do love cheese. I love all types of cheese. As long as you exclude the square artificial cheese, I love every type of cheese. I feel like cheese is a great food group and very underrated. I love cheese. So now that we've established the point of cheese, I think it's actually a really great recipe coming from someone who's not necessarily the biggest spinach fan. I like my spinach blended into smoothies more than I like eating it whole, because I don't like the texture of leafy greens. Even parsley and coriander, I don't like it in my food because of this reason. But I feel like the spinach offers great flavors in here, and especially when you have mozzarella and feta cheese, they tend to be intense, a little on the greasy side, so the spinach helps cut the intensity and create this nice balance of flavors. So it's actually a really great, well-balanced dish, and I highly recommend it. It takes a little bit of patience to make sure that the filo is, you know, nice and not ripped, and of course everything takes a little bit of time and patience, but it's actually so worth it. I reassure you, it is so worth it, coming from someone who's not necessarily the biggest fan of spinach, but it is so good. So yeah, I highly recommend it. So this brings us to the end of today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and if you like this kind of content, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and follow me on my social media so you guys can support me to make more content. Once again, available on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Discord. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!